Hi. Um, I don't know why I'm recording this, but I just thought that, I would do something like this. I feel extremely unordinary, yet overly ordinary, and I don't know, unnoticeable, unnecessary. And it's not a pity party. I thought I would just kind of put it out there, because I know that I'm not the only one that feels like there's something that I should be doing in this world that makes an impact or helps people more than I'm doing, that doesn't leave me feeling empty or sad, or like there's so many people who are doing things for others, even actors and singers and just, entertainers. They make people happy in certain ways, and then, the all the medical professions, and I mean, there's just so many things that people do, and a lot of people don't look at it like they're helping, but really they are. I mean, those comedies, they make you laugh, they lighten your heart, they make you feel good, and then there's those scary movies that just kind of make you feel all tingly inside, and it makes you happy. It makes you so happy that you want to see more. And I want to do that for somebody, for more than somebody, for a lot of people someday, somehow. I don't know how, but I'm nothing but ordinary. I'm boring and dull and regular and not exciting. I mean, I'm a student, and I'm not working, and I'm a mother, um, and a pet owner. I mean, I'm things, but I mean, to my son, I know that I mean a lot to him, and he means the world to me. He does, and that's why I want to do something just for him. I want him to know that this world doesn't have to be this way, that we don't have to sit here and things happen. We can make things happen. And I'm not in the position yet to do that for him, but I'm hoping that soon I will be. We all strive. Every parent says, I'm going to do better for my kid than my parents did for me, and I think that every parent everywhere strives to do that, and we do. To a certain extent, we do. I mean, there's most parents try to make everything the best and the brightest for their children. They try to make them feel grateful and understand the world in a way that they won't feel so entitled and selfish and spoiled. And unfortunately, there's times where we go wrong and they feel selfish, entitled, and spoiled, and those are the kids that kind of, that need a little bit more help. But there's adults like that too, and I just think that if you give them something else to focus on, if you just make them see life in a different way, then maybe they won't necessarily be like that. And I'm not saying that I'm the person to do that, because look at me, I'm not. But I want to do something for somebody's someday. I don't want to be a normal me anymore. I want to be a super me. I want to make people smile, and I want to make people remember that life can be good even when it's not. I want people to know that when they make an effort, there's a reason for that, and that they did something phenomenal by not giving up or just forgetting about it. I want to be something someday. And I know that it's not now, because I'm really normal. And okay, I'm normal because I'm obese, and right now, unfortunately, in America, obesity is kind of the norm, and I'm trying to change it. I mean, I've quit smoking, and I've quit drinking soda, and I'm trying to quit sugar, and I quit salt. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm changing, and I just, me quitting smoking, that hasn't affected anybody but me and my son, that hasn't helped anybody. Me not drinking soda, you can tell anybody what soda does to their body, and it's not going to make a difference because it's addicting, I had a harder time quitting drinking soda than I did quitting smoking. And as for salt, you get a lot of sodium from all the food that you eat. You don't need to add more, but try to tell somebody who loves salt that. My ex-husband loves salt and grease, and he would make French fries, and the French fries that were filled with all of the oil were his favorite ones, and he'd pour so much salt on there, and he'd use a French fry and just soak up this, sweep up the salt on the fry. And there's just some people that won't listen, and So I don't really, I mean, those aren't things that I think that I can affect. I mean, I've tried to talk to people about quitting smoking. I just tell them, you can do it. You can do it. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can. I did it. I smoked for 24 years. And my parents were buying me cigarettes when I was 12 years old. And I had severe asthma, and I needed an inhaler every night when I went to bed. Every morning when I got up, I had to use an inhaler, if not a nebulizer. I ended up in the hospital so many times. Anytime I got just a regular common cold, I would have to go to the hospital because I couldn't breathe or sleep because I was coughing so much, and there was so little air getting into my lungs. And then my dad got cancer. He got lung cancer. And about 4 months before he died, he asked me to quit smoking. And I thought, I want to quit smoking. I do, just not right now. There's so much stressful stuff going on. I was divorced. My ex-husband was stalking me, and I was making a big move, and there was there's always going to be reasons, and there was always reasons for me to keep smoking, and there's always going to be some kind of stress that's going to make you feel justified. But one day I had finally gotten tired of trying to worry about cigarettes, because I'm a student, and so all I have is my student loan money. I'm not employed, and it's like, how am I going to get cigarettes? Because I can't sacrifice something for my son to get cigarettes. It just doesn't make sense. I love my son. So one night, I had enough cigarettes to last me until I decided I was going to go to bed, which is usually pretty late. I'm a night owl. And I smoked them. And I smoked the last one around 2 o'clock in the morning. And I promised myself that when I got up that next morning that I was not going to smoke anymore. And I looked it up afterwards, but apparently 75% of people who quit smoking do it cold turkey. And that's what I did. That first cigarette in the morning, I would always say, I'm just going to have the first cigarette and then I'll go through the day. And no, that first cigarette in the morning, that's the worst one you can have. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself, is smoke that first cigarette. Just don't do it, and you can make it. I did. And I quit on September 1st, 2012. And my father decided to I saw him in October, and he didn't believe me at first, because when he quit smoking, he kind of cheated here and there, but he didn't believe me. He thought that I was still smoking, but I wasn't. And he died December 12th, 2012. And I felt proud because I quit smoking before he died. He asked me to, and I did it. And I felt good that he died knowing that I wasn't doing that anymore, that I wasn't doing that to myself. I mean, there's always going to be a possibility of lung cancer because I smoked for 24 years of my young life. But I quit. So, here I am now. The soda, I quit two or 3 months after. I found out that, I stopped drinking regular soda about 1.5 years before, and I was drinking a lot of diet sodas, and then I found out that diet sodas can induce diabetes, and I already have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and with that it includes facial hair, obesity. It helps to make people gain weight. There's cysts on the ovaries and other parts of the body. There's a lot of problems with PCOS, and I know that diabetes, blood sugar is one of the big things with PCOS, and so I didn't want to help it. So I quit drinking diet soda too. And of course, after I quit drinking soda, I found out, what it does. I mean, it goes into everything. It goes into your hair, into your nails, into your skin, into your teeth and your bones, into your brain. It helps, everything, it becomes part of your body. And that's not something that I want part of my body. So I quit doing that. And it was hard, but I did it. And with the salt, that was kind of difficult too. The salt was, I was just feeling, I got into a situation where I was scared that something was going to happen to my son, and so all of a sudden I started feeling the stress and the fear in my face. It felt like flush, like I was becoming flush, and then from that day on, it's like anytime I would eat salt, I would feel the same sensation. So I tested it, and I stopped using salt, and I stopped feeling that way. So from there on, you can use kosher or sea salt. You just don't want to use sodium, because that's what gets you. It's gonna kill. It's a horrible thing for women to use, even men. But those are the only things that that's the only thing that I've accomplished, really. I mean, I'm a mom, but there's a lot of moms out there. There's a lot of people that quit smoking. There's a lot of people who don't drink soda to begin with. And there's a lot of people who don't use salt. There's vegans and vegetarians, and God knows I would love to be a vegetarian. I'm just not. Maybe I just don't want it bad enough, because I keep finding myself feeling and being unable to quit eating meats. But whatever my next step is in my life, whatever I do next, I want it to be something to help you. I don't want to be ordinary anymore. I want to make an effect on this world. I want to leave more than a carbon footprint. I want to leave a carbon angel. I don't want to leave just a footprint. I want something to happen. I want to help this world so badly. There's so much hate and anger and selfishness and rudeness in this world, and greed. Greed is by far behind almost everything. It's amazing how the world can be ruled by paper. By little pieces of paper. Or just by ideas of like the credit card or the debit card, money. It's just so amazing that people will kill for it. People will kill for money. They would do anything for money, because money gets them what they want, and they think that everything buys happiness. And maybe it does for them for a moment, but I don't know what I can do. I always thought that if I won the lottery or something, and I had a huge amount of money, especially if I had like billions of dollars, I would buy hotels in all the major cities and make them into these homeless shelters where there was a daycare and job training, and there was, in every motel room there was a family, and I know that there are other people who are just as deserving, but that would get those families out of those other shelters, leaving room for the veterans who get assistance from the Veterans Association, and leaving room for the single homeless people who need a place to sleep. But I want to get a motel, and I want to have them, have them cooking for everybody, have like the hotel kitchen busy with people who are homeless that are preparing food for everyone, and that's their job. They may not be able to get out of that hotel right now. They may not be able to find another job, but they've got something to do to make them feel like they're contributing, to make them feel like they're part of something, so that they're not just feeling like they're forced to ask for help. Because this is them helping each other. It's them helping themselves. And to have somebody there doing the laundry, like they would in a hotel, but they're homeless people doing their own laundry. Their families helping each other get up and be better and be stronger and help the community build their own community. That would just be so amazing. But I know that, to make something like that last, there would have to be a never-ending line of donations, and unfortunately people just don't like to give like that, especially with the economy the way that it is. And I know that my idea has flaws. Every idea has flaws, but there's merit in it. There's good points in it. There's things that we can use to build on, to change people's lives, to change cities, to change people's perceptions and beliefs. That's just something. That's one of the ideas that I have. I have so many ideas. To help not just homeless people, but just people, period. They've got this thing where, if you don't want your kid as a baby, you can just drop it off at a fire station or a police station and all's okay. Nobody's going to get in trouble. Bull. So you can go out and you can keep having babies, and you can keep having babies that you're getting these diseases to, and you don't care about them, and you're not accountable for it. No, you need to be accountable for it. You need to be accountable for it. I agree that someone should not have to be in fear. Like, say, teenagers, you know, these little teen kids that get caught up. Okay, fine. That's fine. Start from the very beginning. When you know you're pregnant, you know, step up to it and give the baby away for adoption. Don't just drop it off where it can possibly die, in toilets or dumpsters or outside of orphanages or churches. You know, just sign up somebody for an adoption. There are so many loving couples that could have this child that couldn't have a child otherwise. I've been a surrogate. I've carried a child for someone inside of my belly before because the woman couldn't have a child. She had no uterus. She lost it when she was 19. Why can't we convince through media, through the schools, through the like Planned Parenthood even? Why can't we use them to convince these children that yes, you are pregnant. Yes, it's scary, but you know what? There's something you can do. I know you can't take care of this baby. I know that you need to finish school, and I know that you're scared and you don't want to hurt anybody, but there is someone out there that is more than willing to say, you know what, it's okay. I will raise your child and love your child and treat your child as though your child is my own forever. I will never let anything happen to your child. And just let them adopt the child instead of just abandoning the poor child and hoping that he or she doesn't die, or not even really caring. There's so many things that we can do in this world. I don't know what I can do. I know once when I lived in Bloomington, my friend and I tried to get a petition going. It's probably still up somewhere, that all schools should have school zones, no matter where they're at, because believe it or not, unless there is a bunch of people walking around the school, they don't need to have a school zone. So somebody can go whipping through at 55, and a student can die because there isn't that law. And we really tried to get that law going so that every school would have a school zone. We went to the senators, and we just kept going, and it just pretty much was, if it wasn't a moneymaker, people didn't want to hear it. It wasn't an election year, so it wasn't a big deal to take care of. But there's so many things that we can do. I got to figure out which one's right for me. I don't even have to be known by anybody. I don't. But I want to do something good. I want to do something good for a lot of people. Don't you?